And away we go.
I would also like to mention that I will recline in the seats right now, and if you can turn your phones to silent, that is also good.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jenny and Jason. I really appreciate it. I am so happy to be here and a little bit envious of your chairs, like I said, the reclining chairs. So, beginnings and arriving. What I would like to do, maybe just to start, is invite you all to arrive. Our lives don't magically disappear when we sit down to begin a mindfulness practice, but we can maybe ask them to the rest of our lives to just wait outside the room for a little bit, knowing that everything is truly welcome. But this is a time to just arrive here in the room and let go of whatever it was you were doing before, and try not to pick up anything that you know you have to do later today. I will be talking for a little bit and then going into increasingly longer periods of silence, but I'll pipe up every now and then. You'll hear me, but I won't be talking constantly. And I do want to say that whatever suggestions I may have, prompts, directions, instructions for what we're practicing today, if something doesn't work for you, if it's uncomfortable or you just like doesn't feel like a good fit, feel free to just let it go. Feel free to engage in the practice in a way that is comfortable and safe and easy and supportive for you. So as we're arriving in the room, we can take a couple of deep breaths and in whatever way is comfortable for you. We're not going to be directing the breath in any particular way. So just to like, with a deep breath and a sigh. I often will yawn at this part because suddenly my body's like, oh, I'm kind of tired, or oh, I've been holding my jaw tight this morning. So whatever way to just arrive at an awareness of the breath. You can breathe in through your nose or your mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Whatever's most comfortable for you. Saying hello to our lungs. A lot of times we tend to breathe in really shallow ways. And so just, what is my full capacity of breathing today? It might be different from what it was yesterday or tomorrow, but just, oh, hello to the breath in the body, just as it is right now. And then allowing the breath to return to just its natural pace and rhythm. You might notice your sensations of your body as it is right now in the room. The temperature of the air on your skin, whether there's a breeze or it's still. Just having an awareness of the particular room or space you're in. And I know some of you may be watching this on Zoom or joining us later through YouTube. So again, how is the room where you are right now? Do you notice sounds inside and outside of the room? Just allowing the body to completely arrive where you are. And we can shift our awareness from the external, the wider external, to the body. wherever you are sitting in the moment. If your feet are on the floor, noticing that. And I like to encourage a gentle noticing of all the places where your body makes contact with the floor or the chair, all the ways in which you are being supported in this moment. Feet on the floor, the seat of the chair beneath you, your back against the chair, your arms, if they're being supported on the arms of a chair, or resting your hands in your lap. Just allowing yourself to be completely supported. And if there's some way you need to move, either now or during our time together, feel free to do that. If you need to make an adjustment, I often tell people if they've been sitting all day, it is possible to do mindfulness practice standing up. And if that is more comfortable for you, then please do that. But otherwise, if there's just some like little tiny adjustment you could make, that you could just be even 2% more comfortable, feel free to make that shift. As we've kind of settled into the space, noticing the body, what feels comfortable. You could also notice if there's any areas of tension, perhaps starting at the top of the head, how it feels in your scalp or around your ears or jaw. A lot of times I suggest to folks that they take their glasses off, if you wear glasses, just to allow all the little tiny muscles of the face to completely relax. And you're welcome to close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, or leave them open if you have the stars of the planetarium to look at, or if you're sitting at a desk, maybe casting your eyes downward at a 45-degree angle, soft focus, just to reduce the activity in the visual field. Or again, if closing your eyes is what you'd like to do, that's great. Go ahead. And again, briefly scanning the body for places of tension, tightness, maybe in the shoulders, the neck. I often find sometimes I will check my elbows. Sometimes I'm sitting and I have my elbows like braced. So just noticing if the shoulders and elbows are trying to do any work. And you can let them know that there's nothing they need to do right now. They can just relax. Moving on down through the body, the low back, hips, legs, knees, all the way down to the feet. Just noticing the body as it is today. And like I said, if there's any places of tightness, tension, or discomfort, see if you can allow it to soften, invite it to soften. And if not, that's okay too. You might notice sounds, either inside or outside of the room. And if that holds your attention for a moment, that's totally okay. It can help to just have an awareness of where you are and what's happening around you, knowing that at the moment you're in stillness, even as all around you there's busyness and activity in the world. You might imagine a mountain, that has all kinds of trees and plant life growing, and all kinds of animals living their lives, and even weather all around the mountain. And all of this activity is happening, and yet the mountain remains in stillness. And so for this meditation, it can often be helpful in mindfulness practice to have an anchor, the way a boat has an anchor to keep it from drifting away. And a very common one that we use is the breath. This just gives the mind something to focus on, a little bit of concentration to tether the mind to the present moment, noticing the breath in the body. And for most people, the body or the breath is most noticeable in one of three places: the nose, the chest, or the belly. And so I invite you to just pick one of those for this session. Whatever feels easiest and most comfortable to access. Could be the rise and fall of the belly. The sense of expansion and contraction in the rib cage and chest. Or the nose, with cool air coming in through the nostrils and maybe slightly warmer air coming out on the upper lip. So choosing one of these three locations, just invite the mind to rest there in that spot for the next little while. And for most of us, the mind can be kind of like a wiggly puppy. that will sit with you for a minute and then wander off to something more interesting. And just like we would do with a puppy that was wandering away, with great care, tenderness, and compassion, we just invite the mind to return. Return to the breath. Noticing the quality of the breath itself. Is it long or a short breath? Is it deep or shallow? Is the breath choppy or smooth? And is it coarse or fine, like coarse salt or fine salt? We can offer this to our mind, something to be curious about. What is my breath like right now in this body as it is today? If you notice that your mind has wandered, thinking about something else, the first thing to do is, as much as possible, be kind and non-judgmental. This is the practice. It's not one of pinning the mind down, wrestling it into place, and keeping it still. Practice is actually gently and compassionately returning each time the mind inevitably wanders. So again, like with that wiggly puppy, just scooping it back up and inviting it to come back and attend to the breath. Sometimes people find it helpful to label when they notice they're thinking. You're aware that you're thinking, and so you just say, thinking. Or if you want to be more specific, you can say, remembering, planning, rehearsing, reviewing. But sometimes it's just simple enough to say thinking. You're just like tapping a little bubble, a little thought bubble, acknowledging that the mind is doing what it does and gently redirecting it to the breath. If you notice that your mind is being pulled into thinking about sensations in the body, maybe you're noticing a tingling or a buzzing sensation in your hands or feet. Perhaps one of those spots of tension that you explored earlier is returning. You can redirect the mind to that spot, to just notice it. Allow the mind to be with that physical sensation for as long as it holds the attention. If you have an itch, sometimes it's really interesting to just allow the mind to notice the sensation of an itch without scratching it. But of course, if you need to move or scratch or stretch at any time to feel just 2% more comfortable, please go ahead and do that. And as we come to our last few minutes together, you might just investigate, how is the breath different now compared to how it was when you first sat down in your chair? Has it changed? What do you notice about it? And as you're noticing the breath and perhaps how it is different from before, in our last couple of minutes here, I encourage you to extend that bit of kindness and compassion to yourself, a bit of appreciation to yourself for taking the time out of your day to offer yourself some care, some ease, spaciousness, whatever it is that you know you receive from this practice. Giving yourself a little mental pat on the back for offering that to yourself. That is a kindness and a generosity that benefits not only you, but everyone around you, the whole world. And I very much appreciate you being here and joining me for this. And I invite you to just take another couple of deep, intentional breaths. Maybe roll the shoulders, wiggle the toes a bit. And not return, since you never technically left where you were, but getting back to the day and the next thing that you need to do, returning to the room and closing this practice down for the moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Carissa. Thank you very much for attending. Let me see. Doesn't look like we have anybody else online. Okay. If you need flex, if you're a faculty or staff member, come and see me afterwards so I can take down your name. We will do this every Monday, 12:30 to 1. So please come again. Thank you very much.
Jason, may I say one more thing?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So that was just I focused mainly on breath and body awareness. If you have suggestions for me, if you could pass those on to Jason, if you have any kind of feedback, or questions, please pass that on to Jason. I would be happy to, do whatever I can to respond. I want to make sure that whatever I'm offering here is of service to everyone. So I appreciate anything that you want to let me know about it. Let Jason know. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Have a great day. Thank you very much, Carissa.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I will bring the chairs up for you guys.